Imagine walking into a wedding where the bride is your little sister, radiant in her white dress, and the groom is the man you were supposed to marry. Your parents, glowing with pride, paid for every detail: the flowers, the band, the sparkling chandeliers, and you? You're just a guest, forced to smile while your heart breaks. I'm Clara, 42 now, and at 25, I lived this betrayal. My sister, Lily, and my parents' favoritism tore me apart, but what I did at that wedding turned their perfect day into chaos and gave me my life back. I was always the good daughter, the one who played by the rules. Growing up in our small suburban home, I got good grades, kept my room tidy, and never caused a fuss. Lily, 5 years younger, was the family's star. Her hazel eyes, curly hair, and infectious laugh had Mom and Dad wrapped around her finger. If I brought home a B, I'd hear, "Why can't you be more like Lily? She's so bright." If Lily spilled juice on my homework or broke my favorite mug, it was, "Oh, Clara, it's just an accident." Forgot her chores? Lily's got a lot going on. I was expected to be perfect, while she got a free pass for everything. As kids, we were close, sharing secrets and playing in the backyard. But as we hit our teens, Lily's jealousy started to show. She'd charm my friends until they were hers, join my clubs and outshine me, even copy my style but make it better. It felt like a competition I never signed up for. I'd spend hours practicing piano, only for Lily to take it up and get applause for her natural talent. By high school, I was used to living in her shadow, but it still stung. I learned to keep my head down, thinking if I worked hard enough, I'd earn the love and attention she got so easily. At 23, I met Tom. He was a coworker at my first real job, a graphic designer with a warm smile and big dreams. He saw me, really saw me, for who I was, not as Lily's sister. We fell in love fast, spending weekends hiking, watching old movies, and planning a future. A year later, he proposed under a starry sky, and I said yes, imagining a simple wedding with wildflowers and our closest friends. For the first time, I felt like I'd won something Lily couldn't touch. I even thought she was happy for me. She hugged me when I showed her the ring, gushing about being a bridesmaid. I should have known better. 6 months before the wedding, I noticed Tom acting strange, distant, checking his phone too often. Then I saw him and Lily at a cafe downtown, laughing, their hands brushing as they shared a pastry. My stomach dropped. That night, I checked his phone and found flirty texts from her. Messages like, "You deserve someone who gets you," and worse. When I confronted them, Lily broke down in tears, saying it just happened, and she didn't mean to hurt me. Tom swore it was a mistake, begging me to forgive him. I was gutted, but the real blow came from my parents. "Lily's young, she's still figuring things out," Mom said, patting her hand. Dad added, "Don't make a big deal out of this, Clara. You're too hard on her." They even suggested I forgive them both to keep the family together. I felt like I was screaming into a void, invisible to the people who were supposed to love me most. I called off the engagement, my heart shattered. I moved out of our apartment, cut contact with Tom, and tried to piece myself back together. But Lily, she didn't stop. Within weeks, she and Tom were dating, posting cozy photos online like nothing had happened. 3 months later, they announced their engagement. My parents were thrilled, diving into wedding plans like it was their own. They paid for everything: the venue, the catering, the designer dress. I got an invitation in the mail, addressed to Clara, guest. Then Mom called, her voice casual. "You'll find someone else, Clara. Let Lily have this." That was the moment I broke. I wasn't just hurt, I was done being the doormat. I started therapy, unpacking years of feeling like I wasn't enough. I realized my anger wasn't just about Lily or Tom, it was about my parents' favoritism, how they'd always chosen her over me. I remembered the time they gave Lily my college savings for her dream car, because she needed it more. or how they'd praise her mediocre art projects while barely glancing at my straight-A report cards. I was tired of swallowing my pain. I decided I'd go to that wedding, not to grieve, but to take back my power. I spent months planning, keeping every step a secret, my resolve growing stronger with every therapy session. The wedding day was a spectacle, dripping with luxury, all funded by Mom and Dad. The venue was a grand hall with crystal chandeliers, white roses everywhere, and a string quartet playing softly. Lily looked like a fairy tale princess in her flowing white dress, Tom grinning beside her in a tailored tux. I slipped in late, taking a seat in the back, my heart pounding but my face calm. I'd prepared my gift, carefully, and it was time to deliver. When the DJ opened the floor for toasts at the reception, I stood up. The room went silent, hundreds of eyes turning to me. Lily's smile faltered, her hands clutching her bouquet a little tighter. My parents exchanged nervous glances. I took the microphone, my voice steady despite the adrenaline. "I want to wish Lily and Tom a lifetime of happiness," I said, pausing for effect. "But first, I have a special wedding gift for them." I'd hired a private investigator months earlier, and he'd uncovered Tom's true colors. The giant screen behind me flickered to life, displaying screenshots of his dating app profiles, still active just weeks ago, with messages to other women calling them baby and making plans to meet. Then came bank records showing he'd been siphoning money from a joint account Lily didn't even know existed, funneling it into his own private stash. The crowd gasped, some leaning forward, others whispering. Lily's face went white, her hands trembling. Tom lunged toward the stage, shouting, "Turn it off!" But the tech guy was one-eyed tipped to keep it running. I wasn't done. "Mom, Dad," I said, turning to them, "you always told me to be more like Lily. I'm done playing that game." I pressed play on a recording I'd made during a family dinner, where they casually admitted giving Lily my college fund for her car because she needed it more. The room fell silent, then erupted in murmurs. Lily was sobbing, mascara streaking her face. Tom stormed out, shoving past guests. My parents sat frozen, their perfect family image in tatters. Then came the final blow. During a family visit, I'd found Lily's old journal hidden under her mattress. Its pages were filled with her jealousy, her obsession with outdoing me, and her deliberate plan to pursue Tom just to prove she could. I read a passage aloud. "Clara thinks she's so special with her perfect fiancé. I'll show her I can take anything she has." The words hung in the air, sharp and damning. Guests were stunned, some teared up, others shook their heads in disbelief. My parents tried to defend her, stammering about misunderstandings, but no one was listening to them anymore. I had one last surprise. For months, I'd been running an anonymous blog, chronicling Lily's manipulations and my parents' favoritism. I'd included screenshots of texts, dates of incidents, and even stories from old friends and neighbors who'd seen Lily's true side. That morning, I'd emailed the link to every guest on the RSVP list. By the end of the reception, phones were out, people reading and whispering as they scrolled through years of truth. Lily's perfect reputation was gone, replaced by the reality of her actions. I walked out of that hall, head high, leaving the chaos behind. I didn't need their apologies or their guilt. I'd reclaimed my story. Within days, my blog went viral, with thousands of people sharing their own stories of sibling rivalry, parental favoritism, and family betrayal. I started a support group for those who'd felt invisible, like me, and found a community of people who understood. I wasn't alone anymore. Now at 42, I look back at that 25-year-old Clara, hurt, angry, but unstoppable. If you've ever been the one told to let it go while someone else gets a free pass, I see you. Your pain is real, and you don't have to stay silent. That wedding was their downfall, but it was my rebirth. I rebuilt my life, found a partner who loves me for me, and now run a thriving community for people healing from family wounds. I've spoken at events, sharing my story to help others find their voice. Lily, She's still chasing approval, stuck in her own cycle. And me? I'm free, living a life I built on my own terms, stronger than ever. If this story gave you chills, leave a like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and follow us for more powerful stories that prove karma always comes home.